What's it do?
It takes the hot air from outside.
It's not going to be a full race setup. It's still going to be on pump fuel.
And what is this one getting?
8.1 billet cases, 2 fast 100 cylinder.
Oh, yeah.
However, they often have a black sweatshirt on with your shop logo. In addition, several of my immediate neighbors have commented about your scooters and the excessive speeding as well, and one of which reached out to our neighborhood association. This morning was at the treat of your staff racing up Stanley towards King Road, turned around and did a wheelie down Stanley Avenue as far as I could see. I wanted to remind you that Stanley is 25-mile-an-hour zone, and it has a 20-mile-an-hour school zone as well. Take your speeding elsewhere, perhaps Wichita Street won't mind, I don't know. Thank you, please be more neighborly. End of message.
You guys hear that? CVT's way off and jetting, listen. So, just definitely needs some work on the motor. If he was to keep it the way it is, it's not right at all, see? See, that tach's not right either. Shows it idling at 5,000. There's no way that it's doubled, so he's got to get in the settings and change it.
All right, tell me your theory. So we're pretty much the world is burning over here.
Oh, it's
Paul and I had a discussion.
Yeah.
About the AC unit over there, and he seems to think the AC unit.
What?
What's it do?
It takes the hot air from outside. It cools it down inside there, and that shoots cold air out from the outside.
That's false.
What do you mean? It's not shooting hot air outside. Do you
Yes,
want to go
it is.
outside and
Yes,
feel
it
around
is.
the thing? It's sucking. That's sucking from the outside.
Yeah. You realize that I was in the union construction industry for like 10
Construction,
years, right?
Mr. Electrician. Take a look over here.
No, I didn't
No,
do.
show him.
No.
Yeah, you're an electrician,
Yeah,
but look at
that's
your wires
low
in your shop.
alarm stop. Hey,
Alarm stop.
you're wrong.
Okay, so prove it.
Well, go outside. You go outside and put your hand over the vent and tell me if it's hot or cold.
It's smoky outside, and there's a truck in the middle of the street probably dropping off packages.
Like,
It's
all
not
right.
my truck.
All right, let's go.
Probably
Okay.
not. You're wrong.
Yeah,
You're wrong.
we're gonna let the viewers decide, and they're all gonna say that.
They're gonna say, "Wow, Paul's really smart, and that's how air conditioners work." I'm glad I learned something today.
You didn't learn anything today. You refused to learn something today.
I'm the teacher.
You're the grasshopper, bro.
Grasshopper.
Do you even know what that means?
No.
Oh.
I don't hop on no grass.
Get out of here. You're riding or hiding, bro.
Well, we're hiding today.
Yeah, we are.
I'm gonna do some wheelies.
Alright.
I guess we should go over to the build, right? Cool customer Tim shipped us his Aerox, and we also have his SR50 here. So awesome! Thank you for supporting us, keeping us in business. First thing I noticed, one, it's got an eBay air filter on it, as you can see. That's a no-no. It also has a stage 6 carburetor, and those things are about as bad as they get. They look cool and they're expensive, but they're terrible. So this MBT, this charging system here, is not made for street use. This is just a wide open throttle because it doesn't have a timing curve to it. It stays where it's supposed to stay. So it's just made for drag racing. This is often bought because it's a little bit cheaper, oftentimes. But as you saw on the ride, the CVT is way off. The jetting feels way off. You can literally give it wide open throttle and it'll sit there for 3 or 4 seconds. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. It'll break up, it's backfiring out there. So my guess is it's most likely got an air leak. The timing is wrong, most likely wrong, and or it's just the effects of this not being a good fit. This ignition is just made for a race. So they probably set it to be usable at lower RPM than cruising. It's gonna be too advanced down low, and it's never gonna run right. We're gonna do a full motor build on this, do something totally different, but really I'm not gonna put a ton of energy in trying to figure out what's going on with this one, but at least I can call a customer and say, hey, the bike that you purchased, you know, it needs this, needs that, or, you know, because he bought it sight unseen, I believe, so at least we can relay to him the condition of the bike that he bought for his own understanding. The gauge is reading twice what it should be reading, so the revolutions for the pickup settings are wrong. It's a really cool bike overall. They're really, really hard to find. Did you talk to Tim, Paul, about this bike? Do you know what they said for cylinder? Stage 6, right?
It's an MK2 for sure. Probably race. MK2 race.
Did you talk to him about the 8.1? Yeah, it's hard to say. It does look like a race. It's got a stage 6, looks like a rear-facing manifold. Stage 6, yeah.
It's like somebody just like went on Stage 6's website and ordered every single part for it.
That they could, yeah, that they sold. We're supposed to be doing bearings too. So whether we strip these ones down and paint them all, top to bottom, or he sends us ones that we take and paint as well. So yeah, the first step is to figure out what motor he wants, kind of where he wants to go with it. Once he figures that out, we'll order all the motor parts. When the parts are being ordered, we'll strip the whole bike down to the frame, we'll powder coat the frame, send the fairings out to get painted, and then when the motor parts come in, we can kind of start assembling everything. But the first step is the hard to get parts and the more time consuming parts, which are the engine. So I think he wants to do the billet 8.1 cases with this, I think. Paul's working with him, but it's a cool bike. You couldn't ride it as is. It needs quite a bit of tuning. And I would definitely change the MBT on here as well, but it's got a lot of really cool rear parts, a lot of stage 6 stuff, as you can see. The forks, you can't get those anymore. Those probably stopped. I think they quit making those like 6 years ago or something. It's been a long time. Same with the calipers they were making for a bit, but all this stuff, the rotor and everything, is extremely hard to find. They do, yeah. I think they have the single pot too, like the Brembo style for a while.
They have those,
yeah,
that style.
yeah. But yeah, these forks you can't get them anymore. Yeah, so we'll see what he wants to do and get moving on it. Maybe do a baseline would be fun first. But the motor is definitely, I would say this motor makes probably, man, I don't know. I'm afraid it's gonna blow up on the dyno if I run it. It's probably like 12 horsepower, 12 wheel horse. It should be closer to like 14, 15.
And why can't we put it on the dyno today?
Because we ordered all new hardware, stack, and software for live horsepower and torque reading and air fuel module. So we have all that coming because we've been dealing with archaic, like super old dyno hardware and tired of it. So we pulled the trigger on all this stuff hopefully here end of next week. So we're gonna just dyno everything.
Yep.
Gonna dyno Paul. I think I'm gonna dyno Paul. See who we should down on everybody in here on a
we'll
bike.
Put everybody on Paul's bike.
Yeah. See who puts down the most wheel horsepower.
I got my money's on Dustin.
Yeah.
You have the most horsepower.
We're gonna put everybody on Paul's bike. See who puts down the most wheel horse on the dyno. Yeah. On a bicycle. Huh. Dustin comes in bike shorts, his legs are just like short. Yeah, so Paul had another, well, I said good call, and then he said there's a good idea and good call, same for the same thing. What was your idea?
Well, I'm not sure what the good idea was. Was it giving you a bang, or was it sending bangs in all the packages?
Sending him in the pack. Well, so first I said I needed a bang because I was having a hard morning. Ooh, yeah. Very good. Bang energy drinks, what we're talking about. And so Paul went to get me one, and I said you should just buy them here and have them on a pallet, and then charge me more money for them when I need them. And then I said we should get a Bang cooler here and sell them, which we can. And Paul came up with a good idea that said we could send them with all packages over $100.
Over $100.
Yeah, and then he said, I said, good call. And he said, it's a good call, a good idea. I said, yes. And Paul's really, he's crushing it over here. He's had a few trash ones, which I'm sure had something to do with his Camry. But as you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He has 11 good ideas and 3 trash ideas. So nice work, brother. Yeah, you're improving. It's awesome. A lot of good ideas. A lot of good ideas.
Well, I have bad ideas, and I just don't tell you.
Now you don't, because you don't want to go on the trash board. I know you spoke with Paul. I just rode the bike and just kind of want to give you an idea of how it ran and everything. I didn't know if you, I know that it's all getting rid of definitely needs some work. I don't know that we want to run it a whole lot. I mean, but yeah, it's weird. Like the dog is just not right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Crowd's gonna be crazy. 10.45, 4 foot-pounds. Running too good. She needs some sweet love and a transplant, a heart transplant.
So we got 10.45 and 4 foot-pounds torque. Where's this bike gonna sit once it's all said and done, do you think?
Should be mid-30s. Probably. It's not going to be a full race setup. It's still going to be on pump fuel.
And what is this one getting?
8.1 billet cases, 2 fast 100 cylinder, 2 fast pipe, full over range. I think we're going to paint all the bearings, powder coat the frame to my understanding. So basically he just wants this bike done top to bottom. The bike has a lot of really cool parts on it, but it's just some of the motor parts are wrong. So the customer bought it this way. But it has a lot of good parts on it, and then it has some parts that aren't so great, and then I think the timing's really far off. I think it has a big air leak, so not really worth putting any time investing into this motor because he wants to go way up and beyond, above and beyond. So yeah, it'll be a fun build.
8.1 cases? That's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. What did I guess? I guessed 9.5. You guessed 10 point something, right?
10.2. You said 9 to 12 or something.
So
like
this
that?
bike, you guys heard it break up and pop and backfire and whatever. This bike should be, I mean, that was before we even hit 40 miles an hour. It was breaking up like that. But this bike should be, and we road tested it too, and it was doing the same thing. But it should be in the 15 to 17 wheel horsepower range, somewhere in there. So it's down 5 to 7 wheel horse. Definitely, she's hurting. She's hurting for a.
And it's all due to tuning.
Tuning and a couple wrong parts. Stage 6
Gotcha.
carbs. Sorry, stage 6, but they suck. It has an eBay air filter on it, which probably isn't going to throw off the tune. But if somebody uses an eBay filter on a bike, it makes you question what else they used on the bike. So like when you do a build like this, in order to get full potential, you have to use all the right parts. If you use all the right parts and you use like the wrong reach or the wrong intake or a cheap part here or there, it just takes down the overall power of the whole bike. It's got to be like a complete setup. The ignition on here is just meant for wide open race. It's not meant for cruising. It's not meant for around town. So the MBTs are just black and silver. You don't want those for the street. And that's what this has on it, and that's what this other motor has on it. So yeah, it should be a totally different bike when it's done. This thing's barely, I mean, it's not rideable as is without doing some tuning, probably air leaks, and changing a few parts out. So.
And so we're still waiting on cases.
Yep.
And so it'll probably be like end of January before we even start on this.
I should probably have the parts end of January. Yeah. Yeah, so once all the motor parts show up, then we build the motor, and then kind of just put it in the bike and tune it, dial it in. Probably do the bearings and plastics last. Do everything last, that way we can just work on the bike, and once the bike is dialed mechanically, then take it apart, put it back together versus, you know, we don't want to have the plastic on and off working on it if we're putting a motor at the same time, so, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.